Welcome back, everyone. This is part 4 of the King's Castle, King James, along with Player Chopin. And it's now time for us to give you our picks for What's Up of the Week. Where?
You know what, my king, you go first.
Alright. I've got actually a pretty interesting one for you this week. Because, you know, as much as I love game shows and entertainment that's done in front of a live audience, I also like the occasional sitcom.
Oh.
And I think I found something pretty interesting, because ABC is going to debut a new show next week with a special preview about this crazy young lady who starts out as a kid but grows up to become a big-time executive, but she keeps getting tormented by a puppet that looks like a marshmallow fluff. And it's a show called Imaginary Mary. And it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. It's
Imaginary Mary.
It's a sitcom. So, I'll be sure to check that out, and I think you guys should too. I think you'll find it really funny.
I did not expect an Imaginary Mary recommendation. There you go.
Blair?
Mine's going to be mostly music-based this week, because that's mostly what I've had time to deal with. Actually, I'll put a couple podcasts in there too. Look at my phone and see what I got here.
Okay.
I've really enjoyed, by the way, for wrestling fans, I've started enjoying a wrestling podcast, The Masked Man Show. Now, they're not as good as us. They could never be.
No.
They're terrible compared to us, but they're entertaining. Also, a sports podcast I enjoy that I think is hilarious is the guys from Part of My Take. Those guys are very funny. We talked about missing Richard Simmons, but another one I've enjoyed kind of on the political spectrum, and I won't delve too far into it because, you know, no one wants to hear people's political opinions. But the podcast is called With Friends Like These, and it's people from both sides of the aisle just kind of talking to each other in a civil manner.
So it's sort of like a debate show.
I wouldn't even say it's a debate show. It's just kind of like a conversation. It's like instead of like, you're an idiot for thinking this, that's why. It's like, oh, you think that. Why do you think that? I'm going to listen to you. And it's kind of a relief when you're watching like Fox News or MSNBC and all these channels where people are just screaming at each other all the time.
Yeah.
And it's nice to hear people have like actual conversations.
No disrespect to the political news press, but I've been forced to watch Meet the Press for the better part of 3 years,
and Meet the Press is one of the tamer shows.
But I can't tell you how much that show for me turns into a debate show, because it gives people a lot to talk about, but it also turns into a screaming match between the hosts.
Yeah, that's true, but I feel like Meet the Press is actually one of the tamer shows. Like, if you go on to Fox and you get people from different sides, or MSNBC, they're just, like, screaming at each other. They're just pretending they hate each other. And, like, after a point, you're like, what good does that do? But that is polarized people, you know?
That is true.
And as far as the music side, I'm really enjoying the new Fleet Foxes song. Mm-hmm. They're an incredible folk band. I love Lorde. Lorde's kind of like my guilty pleasure. Oh. So her new music is good as always. I loved her first album.
That's kind of
it's been too long.
That's kind of a surprise.
I know, that's my guilty pleasure. That and Taylor Swift. What's your guilty pleasure musically?
Oh, I've got more of them to say. I can't pick just one.
All right, well, give us a few.
But all right, so I was a big Britney Spears fan growing up in the late '90s, early 2000s.
We heard that at karaoke last week.
And I'm big into Taylor Swift or even Meghan Trainor.
Oh, you do like Meghan Trainor. I'm not as big into Meghan Trainor, but I do like Taylor Swift too.
And real quick, I want to remind everybody that Dancing with the Stars has gotten underway.
What do you think so far?
I gotta say, I saw the first show, and I'm kind of sorry Mr. Colbert couldn't be here this week because we could have talked about it in more detail. But I will say, based on what I've seen from Monday's show, I think Charles and Mr. T are in trouble.
Ooh, Mr. T in trouble.
Because...
Is that T for trouble?
No.
I'm joking.
Well, let me just put it to you like this. In short, Mr. T's Cha-Cha was to the theme of the A-Team, and there really wasn't enough content for the judges, so therefore he got 5s across the board, 20 for total score.
Question. Yeah. Hate to interrupt you, but question. Do the fans vote on Dancing with the Stars?
Yes, they do.
That's why I would say Mr. T has a chance.
The judges' scores from last week, along with the viewer votes, will be combined with the judges' scores from this coming week to determine who went, who goes home. But
I would say that's what would work in his favor, because Mr. T is still Mr. T, and people want to keep seeing him.
But the thing I worry about with these older celebrities is who from their generation is going to watch. I mean,
that's a good point too.
Let's be honest. Most of the show's fans are young, 20 to 30s, or possibly kids and teens, or even the older generation. But
can I offer a counterpoint to that?
What?
Is that I feel like normally that would be a show that 5 years ago or so would be watched by mostly young people, but I don't know if we could say that with certainty anymore. Because with the way trends are going, it's like we're getting to a point where almost most young people don't even use the TV to watch ABC or CBS or anything on that's outside of that and on cable. They're using it as a source to watch Netflix, and they're cord cutting to save major cost.
That's true.
So I think the majority of the population that might have those channels still might be people who remember Mr. T.
And as far as Charlo's concerned, she looks great for her age, being 66, but all she did was ootsie cootsy for her entire routine, and she got 21 out of 40, so she could be in trouble too. But as far as the standouts, this is going to surprise you, but my standouts from last Monday were David Ross of the Chicago Cubs.
Oh.
And Simone Biles. Because they arguably had the two best dances of the night.
Well, it makes sense that especially Simone Biles. You know how flexible you have to be to be a gymnast? So obviously she has to be able to move around well. And the same is true to a lesser extent for baseball players.
And the fact is,
most of them.
David Ross is the first baseball player ever to be on Dancing with the Stars. And I'll tell you something, from the outside, you'd think he's pretty uncoordinated, but he actually surprised me, and I think he surprised a lot of people.
Yeah. So are you putting Simone as the odds-on favorite so far?
Yes, to this point.
Yeah, that's if she dances really well, like you said, and her popularity is already through the roof.
Right. So we're just gonna have to see how that plays out, and I gotta remind everybody as well that the new season of The Amazing Race gets underway next Thursday. So make sure you check that out. And I've got some news regarding next week. Blair, this is big. We're going to try to pull a WrestleMania reaction show on Sunday night, April 2nd.
Oh, there you go.
So make sure you stay tuned for that, and we'll give you more information next week as to when that...
It could be a potentially giant sports weekend.
As to when that might happen, so stay tuned for that, but in the meantime...
Think about that, James. You have WrestleMania Sunday surrounded by the two Final Four games.
Wow.
Saturday's Final Four, Monday's Final Four, Sunday night's WrestleMania.
Wow. What a wild week in sports it's going to be. So make sure to remember to check us out, but in the meantime, thank you for watching, and until next time, the King loves you.
That was a good show.